Hello team, welcome to Cloud Pundit. So in today's session, we will discuss why we need Azure Data Factory, right? So we will discuss with one of the real-time example. Okay, let's analyze. Okay, one retail company, how the Azure Data Factory they will use, what benefits Azure Data Factory is bringing for them. Okay, let's analyze that scenario. So let's say a retail company, retail means what? All the sales, right? So there are different companies which basically manufacture and sell these particular products. Okay. There is a retail company wants to analyze its sales data. Okay. So they want to understand how the sales are happening. Okay. And when the sales are increasing, when the sales are going down, when the sales are going up, is it a holiday seasons? Is it a weekdays? Is it a cultural events time? Okay. So we want to check whether it is a seasonal based, is it a summer, winter, based on that. So how our sales are basically going up and down. So that kind of analysis we wanted to do to gain insights into the sales trends and patterns. What is sales trends exactly and patterns means? I will explain to you in a bit. Let's say once we understand how they are doing, right? So the sales, like when the sales are going up, when the sales are going down, and once we understand the sales trends and patterns, how they will visualize these things is basically we will analyze these sales trends and patterns is typically done through the data visualization techniques like line charts, bar graphs, and time series analysis. Okay, let's imagine you have a COVID data, right? So if I have given a 1 lakh patient details to you and I asked you to identify, can you just help me what date and time we have a peak number? Peak number mean at what date and time we have more number of patients active with the COVID, right? So it is difficult for you to say, right? Through the by looking at the 1 lakh records from the file, you cannot say simply just like that, right? And I also ask you when the like COVID cases are increasing, when it is started declining, again when it is started increasing, again when it is started declining. So at what date and time we have seen highest peak of the COVID active cases, at what time we have seen lowest peak of the active cases of the COVID, right? So basically if you give me a minute, I can show you. If you come here, right, so you can just go to COVID voltometer. If you go here, what happens? If you're going through the data, it is very difficult, right? So that's why what they basically do is they will give something like this, which says say highest lowest highest lowest. See, we can see up and down up and down. So we see there is a peak at this particular stage, which basically give you so enough knowledge. Okay, our sales are going up here, going down here, something like this. If you have a sales data also we can able to represent in the visuals, which basically help you to analyze the things much more easiest way for the business. Okay, so in order to do this kind of analysis, first we need to analyze lot of data that we are getting from the source, right? So how to do the analysis, what kind of analysis that we are going to do on the sales data, I'll discuss in detail in a bit. So business can use this particular information to adjust pricing strategies. Pricing means, let's say for particular product the price is too high, people are not purchasing, we will put some discounts on top of that particular product, right? So sometimes product is basically about to expire, we want to sell it quickly, so we will add one more product, buy one so buy one get two, right? So something like that we will see, right? Buy one get one free, buy one get two free, something like that, right? And optimize inventory levels means, let's say when we have a peak demand, we need to maintain more inventory, meaning more products we need to manufacture and ship to the stores. If there is a inventory is like demand is low, means we need to start the manufacturing also, less manufacturing we need to do. Plan marketing campaigns. Okay, so maybe for particular product we introduced in the market, but it is not attracted by the customer because people not aware about that particular product, we need to put some marketing campaigns. and introduce new products and services at the right time. We need to understand, okay, so if it is a summer means which products we need for the customer. Once we understand, we need to introduce the right products at the right time. So summer products we need to summer usage products we need to introduce in the summer, which basically help our business to grow, right? So these are the few things that you need to know. But we realized at the beginning of this point, which says sales trends and patterns, which basically helps the business to analyze their sales data, right, to gain their trends and patterns. What is the sales patterns and the trends? We will see. Sales trends. Sales trends are the general directions or the movement of sales data over a time. So how the sales are moving. So is it going up or down? At what time it is going up? What time it is going down? Everything. Okay. They show whether sales are increasing, decreasing, or remaining stable. Stable means same constant, not increasing, not decreasing at a specified period. Let's say if you take every quarter in a year. So entire year, every month if we consider, every week we consider in a year. So different periods they will look at. Okay, weekly wise, monthly wise, quarterly wise, yearly wise, how the sales are increasing or decreasing or remaining stable. Okay, these sales trends help a business to identify long-term growth patterns or declining sales performance, whether sales performance is going down or it is stable, whether we are growing or not growing, everything we will come to know. So examples of the sales trends is increasing sales over last 6 months. When you are analyzed, we come to know that, okay, increasing the sales since last 6 months. That is the trend going on. Okay, it is keep on increasing since last 6 months means so next 6 months also it will keep going. That is the trend we are seeing. Seasonal sales spikes during holiday season. So we are seeing whenever there is a holiday season, okay, so normally sales are going up, and after holidays is over, going down, and those things also we are seeing. So gradual declining in sales for a specific product category. Let's say ACs in the winter season we will not purchase, but ACs in the summer season we will purchase, right? That is one of the example that we can consider. So product category wise, for each product category wise, we need to see this category of products is selling up or down. Is it going up or down? Not only the overall business, we need to look at the each category wise. For each product category wise also we need to understand. Okay, this is the sales trends. Sales pattern means are the recurring cycles or regular fluctuations in the sales data. There is a fluctuations, meaning so going up and down continuously, right? These patterns often follow specific time frames such as the daily, weekly, monthly, seasonal cycles, meaning within a day, morning it will be up, evening it is down. In a week, weekly means weekends it is high, weekdays normal. In monthly means at the beginning of the month high and the rest of the month is down. Maybe people are getting salary, they will purchase everything at the beginning of month. Seasonal cycles, right? So seasonal means so normally summer, winter, and so on. Season based on the season. Identifying sales patterns help the business anticipate and prepare for period of high and low sale activity, which means once we identify the pattern, okay, when we are having more sales, when we are having less sales, we can easily give the business, like we can start more manufacturing, make sure the enough inventory is available in the store for giving to the customers. Let's say when you go to Flipkart or any retail site, sometimes it will say out of stock, out of stock, you cannot able to place order. So you should not, you are losing a business when you make that product is unavailable for the customer, right? Because customer is looking for, but you are not maintaining it ready, meaning you are basically have the business but you are not having capability to sell that particular product. So we need to take care of all these things to grow in the sales business. The examples of the sales pattern says higher sales on the weekends compared to the weekdays, monthly sales peaks at the end of each quarter due to promotions or discounts, seasonal sales pattern influenced by weather or holidays or cultural events. Based on the weather, so sales will increase or decrease. Holiday seasons, based on the holiday seasons, sales will go up or down. Cultural events, normally based on every country will have their own cultural events, right? So based on that, in those respective countries, the sales will go up based on the cultural events. So these sales trends and patterns refers to the analysis of historical sales data to identify recurring patterns, fluctuation, changes in the sales over a specified period of time. So in order to understand the sales patterns or sales trends, we need historical data in the last 3 years or 4 years, what is happening currently, what is happening. We need to compare historical data and current data, and we can say that, hey, sales are increasing, hey, sales are decreasing. You can say that, right? So in order to do that, now let's move on to the technical scenario. In technical scenario, if you say the sales data is stored in two different locations, what are those two different locations? The transactional data is an on-premise SQL Server database. Let's say you are purchasing products from the Flipkart. Immediately, whatever data is coming, that is storing in an on-premise SQL Server. Let's imagine. Historical sales data is in Azure Blob Storage Container as a CSV file, meaning all the last 3 years of sales, whoever purchased, whatever sales we have done, each product wise, in the each weekend wise or weekdays wise, monthly wise, yearly wise, lot of different data we collected and we kept it, all that historical data. Maybe some business will consider 3 years data, some business will consider last 5 years of data for analysis of their business, right? Now you have a transactional data in the SQL Server, you have historical data, last 3 4 years of data you have in the blob storage as a CSV file. Now what we will do is the company needs to combine this data, so historical data and transactional data, because that's what I told. Transactional data you need to take and compare with your history to say the sales are going up or down, right? So now company needs to combine this data and perform some data transformation. And the data transformation means, let's say I told you I want to analyze by weekly, so just to say, so weekly how the sales, monthly how the sales, each product wise how the sales. So you need to, on the same data you need to apply different transformation, different aggregations to get that particular category wise or week wise or monthly wise or daily, yearly, quarterly, and so on, right? So to do this combination of combining the transactional historical data and storing at a central repository, that is, maybe you can just combine the data after analysis and applying the transformation, and you can load it into the SQL database for the final analysis, right? With Azure Data Factory, what we can do is, why we need Azure Data Factory in this example is, so with this Azure Data Factory, the retail company can regularly run the ETL process using Azure Data Factory. What is ETL process? So it brings ETL process to bring together transactional and historical sales data. It combines them, okay, and it performs some data transformation and load the consolidated, the final data into the Azure SQL database for analysis. Once we have a data in the Azure SQL database or Azure SQL data warehouses, based on the project to project, people will use the different databases or data warehouses. Mostly our final data will be loaded into data warehouse, okay, not a database, but mostly we will use data warehouse because that is a OLAP. All the analysis will be done on top of the data warehouse. Once we loaded this combined, aggregated, consolidated, okay, transformed data in the SQL database, this particular SQL data, from their SQL database, data will be loaded into Power BI for creating the reports, so similar to whatever I have shown in the COVID data. Now, this is not a one-day process. See, today you have purchased the things from the Flipkart. Today data I compared with the historical data to say that how the sales today, how the sales today, let's say weekend. For example, just consider. So what is the sales today? This is weekend, right? Compared with the history in weekend. So today weekend, how the sales, is it going down or up? We can able to understand. But tomorrow again data comes. Day after tomorrow, this process should be run every day. So to whole process is automated, completely automated. Every day it will run automatically. It can be scheduled to run at the desired frequency. We want to run at daily. We want to run daily 2 times. We want to run every 1 hour. Everything we can able to decide. We have automated schedules. Azure Data Factory itself has the schedule mechanism to set up the frequency to run this ETL. So this entire thing, what Azure Data Factory does with the help of all these things, business, uh, Azure Data Factory is basically allowing the company to gain the valuable insights from their sales data efficiently by combining the transactional and historical data and giving all the insights or focus points that they have to look at in their business and take the necessary actions to improve in their business. Okay. So if you have any questions, I request all of you to post your questions in the comment section. I'll answer all of your questions. Let's discuss few questions on top of the discussion whatever we have done. What are the potential benefits of using Azure Data Factory in the sales data scenario? So you can, I'll just told you, I'll put all the answers in the description section. So you can take the answers from there and you can compare with your answers. Okay. Next, what is the purpose of using Azure Data Factory mapping data flow in the sales data scenario? Okay. So basically, right, sales data scenario, why we are using data flows, mapping data flow for the data transformation, generally we know. So the potential benefits means we know basically it is for maintaining all the data at a single place and you can manage and monitor that particular data. Similarly, what is the main goal of using Azure Data Factory in this scenario? To identify recurring sales patterns, to perform data transformation of blob storage, to analyze historical sales data in real time, or to automate ETL process for sales data consolidation and analysis. Okay, yes, we just discussed. We need to have a continuous process to run the ETL process in order to consolidate and analyze the further business data. What is the purpose of combining transactional historical sales data using Azure Data Factory? To reduce storage cost, to perform real-time analytics on sales trends, to create interactive dashboards of data visualization, or to gain valuable insights from the consolidated data for analysis. Yes, when we combine, we will get to know a lot of details when we compare with history, what is happening. That is something which basically help business to gain lot of analysis, lot of insights from their business. What does ETL stands for in the context of Azure Data Factory and sales data analysis? Extract transfer load or extract uh, transform load and extract transform load, export transform load or export transfer load. So which of these is correct? So you just look for the answer in the description. If you are aware, I request all of you to answer and put your answers in the comment section. What is the advantage of using Azure Data Factory for ETL compared to traditional on-premise ETL solution? Lower data security compliance measures, limited scalability and performance, higher upfront infrastructure cost, automation and flexibility for cloud-based data integration and analysis. Yes, it is basically cloud-based integration service which helps us to analyze our data and create a data movement and a data integration pipelines. Okay, that's all, team. So I request all of you to subscribe my channel to get more updates with respect to Azure Data Factory, Databricks, Synapse, AWS Glue, Snowflake, all these things you will get to know from my YouTube channel. Okay, thank you all. That's all for today.